Hidden beneath the Amazon canopy is a world full of secrets. When the rains arrive, the forest begins to change. Water seeps into every corner, turning shelters into hunting grounds. Strange creatures gradually emerge, bringing with them increasingly intense battles for survival. In an Amazon that is constantly changing, every species is forced to adapt to new rules. And the secrets of the rainy season begin to be revealed. Amazon Secrets. Predators that rule the rainy season. If you enjoy wildlife documentaries, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment and let us know where you are watching from. Spanning an area of more than 5.5 million kilometers squared, the Amazon is the largest tropical rainforest in the world. An estimated 10% of all known species in the world are found here. From the dark, damp forest floor to the canopy tens of meters above, life exists in nearly every available space. Each year, many parts of the Amazon receive more than 3,000 millimeters of rainfall. It is this enormous amount of water that has created vast flooded forests and a unique rhythm of life. Now, the first rains of the season are returning. The dry ground quickly becomes damp. Creatures that have remained hidden all this time also begin to emerge. Beneath the hollow of a rotting tree, a Goliath bird-eater slowly crawls out. With a leg span that can reach 30 centimeters and a weight of around 170 g, this is the largest spider in the world. In the wild, they can live for 15 to 25 years. Rather than spinning webs and waiting for prey, the Goliath chooses to ambush, patiently waiting before delivering the decisive strike. In this dark layer of the forest, eyesight is not an advantage. The Goliath relies on a mechanical sensory system. Thousands of sensory hairs covering its body allow it to detect even the smallest vibrations on the ground. Just a few milliseconds are enough to determine the location of its prey. A small forest mouse steps out in search of food. It does not know that every one of its footsteps is being tracked. The Goliath remains motionless. It slightly turns its body. When the prey comes close enough, the spider lunges forward. Its fangs, nearly 2.5 centimeters long, sink deep into the victim's body. After only a few seconds, all movement stops. The hunt ends so quickly that the mouse barely has time to react. Afterward, the Goliath injects digestive enzymes into the prey's body. The soft tissues are gradually liquefied before the sucking stomach draws in all of the nutrients. The name bird eater can easily be misleading. In reality, birds only rarely become prey for the Goliath. It usually hunts large insects, earthworms, frogs, lizards, small snakes and rodents. This famous name originated from an illustration created more than 300 years ago, depicting an individual eating a small bird. The Goliath's most effective weapon is not its venom. It is the thousands of irritating hairs on its abdomen. When threatened, it flicks these hairs toward its opponent, causing severe irritation to the skin, eyes, and respiratory system. Every meal is vital for survival. The energy stored today will help the Goliath survive the weeks ahead as floodwaters gradually cover the Amazon rainforest. By midday, the floodwaters continue to rise, completely transforming the appearance of the forest. Among the branches hanging close to the water, many animals calmly continue adapting to their familiar rhythm of life. A low branch trembles slightly above the water. On it, a basilisk lizard hurriedly runs towards shelter. Suddenly, it launches itself onto the surface of the water and races toward the opposite bank. Thanks to its hind feet, which have skin flaps that spread out when they touch the water, the basilisk generates lift in an instant, allowing it to run across the water at speeds of up to 8.4 kilometers per hour before reaching the safety of a tree trunk. On a leaf above, another creature almost completely blends into the green of the forest. It is a glass frog. The transparent skin on its underside reveals its beating heart and internal organs. When resting motionless on a leaf during the day, they can store up to 89% of their red blood cells in the liver, making their bodies 2-3 times more transparent and allowing them to almost disappear into their surroundings. The rainy season is also the breeding season for this frog. After the female lays her eggs beneath a leaf, the male remains behind to guard them until the first tadpoles hatch and fall into the water below. From these small leaves, the vegetation gradually expands into dense bushes along the water's edge. This is also where many bird species come to build their nests. Not far away, a pair of hoatzins are nesting in bushes along the water's edge. Their reddish-brown plumage, tall crest, and bare blue faces make them stand out among the foliage. Unlike most birds, they digest leaves in a large crop that functions much like the stomach of a ruminant. When danger appears, the chicks jump into the water below to hide, then use the two small claws on their wings to climb back up to the nest. During the Amazon rainy season, every species has its own way of surviving. Millions of years of evolution have produced different strategies, but all of them serve the same goal: staying alive in one of the harshest tropical rainforests on Earth. Rain continues to pour down for days without stopping. The water keeps rising, pushing deeper into the flooded Igapo forests. In some places, water levels can rise by as much as 15 meters, submerging nearly the entire lower level of the forest. For many species, this is the most dangerous time of the year. But for a family of giant otters, the flood season creates a rare hunting opportunity. As the largest otter species in the world, they can grow up to 1.8 meters long and usually live in family groups, hunting, raising their young, and defending their territory together. Floodwaters carry sediment that greatly reduces visibility, but that does not slow them down. Their sensitive whiskers help detect even the smallest vibrations underwater, while their ears and nostrils automatically close whenever they dive. The group quickly spreads out, driving the fish into a narrow stretch of water before closing in together. The hunt is over. Only a few seconds later, the water becomes calm again. The meal is shared right there, while the younger individuals wait for their turn. According to a study published in the Journal of Mammalogy in 2018, more than 85% of the giant otter's diet consists of fish. When food is abundant, the group can even work together to hunt giant fish such as the arapaima, which can grow up to 3 meters long. The strength of giant otters lies in their ability to cooperate. They can use more than 20 types of vocalizations to communicate, warn one another, and maintain contact among group members. It is this strong social bond that makes the entire family one of the most formidable hunting groups in the Amazon freshwater ecosystem. After the otters hunt, the water gradually becomes calm again. Sunset descends, casting a deep red glow over the flooded forest. The sounds of daytime slowly fade away, giving way to a watchful silence. On a fallen tree trunk, a female jaguar quietly watches the water. Not far away, Her two cubs are still waiting for their mother to return. They have gone 3 days without a proper meal. The mother's milk supply is gradually running low. If she cannot catch prey large enough, the family will not be able to hold out much longer. At that moment, a caiman slowly swims past the base of the tree. The mother jaguar immediately lowers its body She remains still, waiting for the prey to move within the right distance. In an instant, the jaguar leaps down from above. Her jaws lock onto the back of the skull, pinning the prey against the surface of the water. A few minutes later, the struggle ends. The mother drags the prey onto the bank. The two cubs quickly run toward her. Over the coming months, they will still depend on their mother for protection and to learn the skills they need before they can survive on their own. But to keep her cubs alive, the mother cannot afford to miss too many opportunities. That attack was not only the result of patience. Even while she was hidden on the tree branch, the jaguar's spotted coat helped her blend into the patches of light and shadow beneath the forest canopy, making it difficult for the caiman to detect the danger above. When the moment comes, her powerful heart and efficient respiratory system allow her to accelerate in an instant. The flexible structure of her shoulder bones and well-developed back muscles continue to play an important role as the jaguar plunges into the water, helping her body absorb the impact and quickly pin down the prey. From her ability to remain hidden to the power of her attack, every feature serves one purpose: to end the hunt with a precise strike. Not far away, the water opens into a quieter section of the forest. Among the vegetation along the bank, a female green anaconda is searching for a suitable place to give birth. Her heavy body makes her move more slowly than usual. Inside her, dozens of young are developing. Unlike many reptiles, green anacondas retain their eggs inside their bodies and give birth to fully developed young. When the time comes, each baby is born inside a thin membrane, quickly breaks free, and begins to swim. There is no maternal care. From the moment they are born, they must find food on their own and face the dangers of the Amazon. A new generation of predators has just been born, continuing the cycle of survival across the vast waters of the forest. Meanwhile, the floodwaters continue to sweep vegetation away from the riverbanks. Duckweed, branches, and leaves gather into thick mats that drift slowly across the surface, unintentionally creating the perfect hiding place for another predator. Beneath the layer of vegetation, a caiman keeps most of its body submerged in the water. By adjusting the amount of air in its lungs, it can control its buoyancy and maintain its position without using too much energy. Fish are the caiman's main source of food. But the flood season also brings low branches closer to the water's surface, and birds feeding here can become targets. A caiman can patiently observe for a very long time. When a bird comes within reach, it can even launch part of its body out of the water to seize its target. It does not succeed every time, but just one moment of carelessness is enough to turn branches hanging close to the water into a dangerous place. In the Amazon, every species possesses its own biological weapon. Together, they form a complex predatory network that keeps the Amazon rainforest ecosystem functioning in a fragile yet enduring balance. Leaving behind the dark, flooded forest floor, sunlight begins to penetrate through gaps in the canopy. Rising above the vast sea of green are enormous ceiba trees that can grow more than 50 meters tall. Their massive trunks and large branches open up an expansive world high above the ground. Here, floodwaters no longer control every movement. Among the interwoven branches, an entirely different rhythm of life in the Amazon continues. A silky anteater is moving along a tree trunk in search of food. Weighing only about 250–300 grams, its tiny body seems almost designed for life high in the trees. Its long tail wraps tightly around branches for balance, while its two curved front claws help break open ant nests hidden inside cracks in the wood. Strangely, this animal has no teeth at all. Instead, it uses a long tongue coated with sticky saliva to collect ants and insects. One individual can consume anywhere from about 100 to 8,000 ants per day. On another tree trunk, small gouges in the bark reveal the presence of an even smaller resident. The pygmy marmoset, the smallest primate in the world, an adult can weigh as little as about 100 grams. Its specialized incisors allow it to gouge through tree bark. Marmoset to exploit an ecological niche that many larger monkeys have difficulty competing for. Recent studies show that marmosets may use calls directed towards specific individuals, almost like a form of calling names. Within the dense canopy, sound helps group members stay in contact even when they cannot see one another. While these calls continue to echo through the forest canopy, at a higher position, a harpy eagle has already begun its hunt. Its large forward-facing eyes provide binocular vision, allowing it to accurately judge the distance to prey within the dense layers of vegetation. On its head, the harpy also has a large feathered crest that can be raised when it is alert. Researchers believe this structure may help with sound reception, allowing it to detect subtle movements within the noisy forest. From its observation point high above, the harpy remains almost motionless. A movement below immediately catches its attention. It dives. With only a few powerful wing beats, the harpy breaks through the foliage and locks onto its prey with its powerful feet. The hunt ends within moments. The mother harpy carries the prey back to the large nest in an ancient tree, tears it into small pieces, and feeds them to her chick. This species reproduces very slowly, usually raising only one chick during each breeding cycle, so the parents spend many months protecting and caring for it until it is capable of becoming independent. The Amazon rainy season reveals the extraordinary power of evolution and the instinct to survive. From jaguars and giant otters to glass frogs, every species has its own way of staying alive. But the forest that sustains them is changing rapidly. Studies updated through 2025 estimate that the Pan-Amazon region has lost about 17% of its intact humid forest area since 1990, equivalent to nearly 976,000 square kilometers. Beyond forest loss, wildfires and degradation are also transforming the areas that remain. Deforestation does more than remove trees. It also fragments habitats and disrupts food chains. As prey populations decline or move elsewhere, species such as jaguars are forced to travel farther in search of food. Changes in water availability also place pressure on species living around rivers and flooded forests. Even so, there are still positive signs. In 2025, the area of the Amazon affected by deforestation and degradation was recorded at more than 25,000 square kilometers, a decrease of about 60% compared with nearly 64,000 square kilometers the year before. Protected areas and ecological corridors are helping reconnect forest regions that were once fragmented. The Araguaia Biodiversity Corridor is planned to extend for more than 2,600 kilometers. It connects the Amazon with the Cerrado, creating space for animals to move and maintain their populations. Indigenous communities also play an important role. Knowledge passed down through generations is helping protect forests, water sources, and wildlife. These results show one thing. When people take action, nature still has a chance to recover. The Amazon took millions of years to create the world we have just witnessed, and the future of that world will depend on what people choose to do today. If you enjoy journeys that explore the wild world, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share the videos so more people can learn about the stories unfolding in nature. Not every prey animal runs. In the Serengeti, a single wrong decision can make a predator pay a heavy price. And sometimes, a flawless act of self-defense is what determines who survives. Serengeti, when the instinct to defend determines survival. The dry season casts the Serengeti in a scorched golden hue. Water holes gradually dry up, and the vast grasslands are reduced to cracked earth and red dust. Beneath the canopy of an old acacia tree, a ground pangolin remains quietly hidden inside its burrow throughout the day, avoiding the searing heat. This species is primarily nocturnal. But the prolonged dry season has caused ant and termite numbers to decline sharply, and hunger forces it to leave its shelter earlier than usual. The pangolin's body is covered in layers of hard keratin scales. This is the same material that makes up human hair and fingernails, but over millions of years of evolution, it has developed into a natural suit of armor capable of withstanding the bites of predators. Although its eyesight is relatively poor, the pangolin possesses an extremely sensitive sense of smell and hearing, allowing it to detect dangers silently approaching. The pangolin slowly leaves its shelter. Catching the scent of an active termite mound nearby, it quickly uses its powerful front claws to tear through the hard, dry soil. Its slender tongue, coated in sticky saliva and capable of extending to around 40 centimeters, repeatedly reaches deep into the narrow tunnels, sweeping entire groups of termites into its mouth within seconds. An adult pangolin can consume tens of millions of ants and termites each year, helping maintain the balance of the Serengeti ecosystem. The final rays of daylight gradually give way to darkness. After hours of relentless foraging, the pangolin begins its journey back to its shelter. At that very moment, on the branch of an old acacia tree ahead, a leopard is silently watching. Its coat, marked with rosette-shaped patterns, allows it to blend almost completely into the darkness, while its soft footsteps make its approach nearly silent. As one of the Serengeti's masters of ambush, the leopard patiently waits for its prey to move within striking distance. Only a few meters remain before the pangolin reaches the entrance. To its burrow, the leopard suddenly leaps down, launching a lightning-fast attack directly at the pangolin. Almost instantly, the pangolin curls its body tightly into a sealed ball of armor. The leopard's powerful jaws and sharp claws repeatedly try to pry open the hard scales, but every attempt is useless. After several unsuccessful minutes, the hunter is finally forced to retreat in silence. The pangolin, protected by armor, forged by nature through millions of years of evolution, slowly continues toward its shelter, bringing another day of survival on the Serengeti Plains to an end. Yet the armor that has helped it escape the claws and teeth of predators so many times cannot protect it from humans. Its keratin scales are hunted for the illegal wildlife trade, making pangolins the most illegally trafficked mammals in the world. According to the IUCN, more than 1 million pangolins have been illegally traded since 2000, despite all 8 pangolin species now being protected under the CITES Convention. In response to the growing pressure from poaching and illegal trafficking, numerous international conservation programs have been established to protect pangolins. The IUCN SSC Pangolin Specialist Group guides conservation strategies, while traffic and wild aid focus on preventing illegal trade. Meanwhile, Save Vietnam's Wildlife and the African Pangolin Working Group directly rescue, care for, and release pangolins back into the wild. These efforts are gradually bringing hope to the world's most illegally trafficked mammal. A new day begins across the Serengeti. A family of black-backed jackals begins to leave its den. Their sense of smell is sensitive enough to detect the scent of an animal carcass from more than 1 kilometer away under favorable wind conditions. Behind them, 2 young pups that only recently began venturing outside the den remain close to their parents. Unlike many carnivores on the grasslands, black-backed jackals maintain strong and lasting family bonds. The parents work together to defend their territory, share food, and care for their young during the first several months of life. In a world where competition unfolds every hour, this gives many young generations a greater chance of reaching adulthood. Not far away, an agama lizard lies motionless on a rock that has been warmed by the early morning sun. For this animal, the first rays of daylight are just as valuable as a meal. As an ectothermic animal, the agama cannot generate its own body heat and must rely entirely on warmth from the environment. After only a few minutes of basking in the sun, its muscles begin to function more efficiently, allowing it to move quickly enough to seize an insect that has just landed in the grass before disappearing into a rocky crevice, even before a predator can notice. Nature always demands a trade-off. Heat allows reptiles to move more efficiently, but it also forces many carnivores to consume more water and energy while hunting. Among the dry grass, an African crested porcupine quietly leaves its rocky shelter to begin foraging. Its sensitive nose guides it toward the scent of tubers, young roots, and pieces of bark that still retain a little moisture after months of drought. Across its back, thousands of stiff quills gently rattle with every step. Each quill carries tiny backward-facing barbs, creating a defensive barrier that very few predators are willing to challenge. At the far end of the grassland, a young lioness has already set her sights on the target. In an instant, she launches herself at the porcupine. The attack misses its target. Several quills become deeply embedded in her paw and muzzle, causing the lioness to recoil and violently shake her head in pain. before being forced to give up. The porcupine calmly continues, digging through the dry ground in search of food, as though the encounter had been nothing more than an ordinary part of life in the Serengeti. Not far away, the sweet scent of honey suddenly drifts on the wind, drawing the attention of predators roaming the grasslands. On a low hillside, a clan of 12 spotted hyenas changes direction at once. The dominant female slowly moves to the front, followed by the other adult females, several subordinate males, and 3 juveniles. This is one of the most strictly organized societies in the animal kingdom. Every dominant position belongs to the females, and they decide when the clan begins a hunt or moves toward a new feeding ground. With a bite force exceeding 1,000 pounds per square inches, hyenas can crush even large bones to reach the nutrient-rich marrow inside, allowing them to consume nearly every part of a carcass. But this afternoon, the entire clan suddenly changes course when the scent of honey drifts through the hot air. Beneath a tree, a honey badger is still busily digging into a beehive. Its extremely sensitive nose allows it to pinpoint the exact location of the nest, deep underground. Within moments, its powerful claws tear through the hard, dry soil. Hundreds of bees immediately swarm around the intruder's head and neck. But the honey badger barely slows down. The skin around its neck and shoulders is about 6 millimeters thick, both tough and loose, allowing it to endure the stings while continuing to feed on the honey and nutrient-rich larvae. To the hyenas, this small creature appears to be an easy target. One individual suddenly charges forward and launches the attack. The honey badger immediately turns and bites back, forcing its opponent to retreat. The others quickly join in, but the honey badger's thick skin and relentless determination allow it to repeatedly escape their attempts to restrain it. After only a few minutes of struggle, the hyenas decide to give up. The honey badger calmly returns to the beehive and continues its interrupted meal. Each of these encounters is only a small glimpse into the vast story of the Serengeti. As the dry season continues, the entire grassland seems to enter a completely different rhythm of life. Across this ancient land, covering more than 30,000 square kilometers, every living creature follows the unchanging cycles of nature. The rainy season brings renewal, while the dry season becomes the harshest test of all, one that only the best adapted species can overcome. It is this environment that has shaped 5 of Africa's most famous icons, the Big Five. This name does not simply refer to size or strength. Each species performs a distinct role, helping maintain the fragile balance of the entire ecosystem. On the horizon, a herd of African elephants slowly moves toward the few remaining patches of green trees. The oldest female always leads the way. Years of experience have allowed her to remember migration routes and the locations of water sources that have sustained the herd through countless dry seasons. In the world of elephants, memory can sometimes be more valuable than strength. Her trunk, containing more than 40,000 bundles of muscle, constantly sweeps close to the ground, detecting scents and breaking off young branches. An adult can consume more than 150 kilograms of vegetation each day. As the herd forages, old shrubs are knocked down, making way for fresh grass that quickly emerges after the first rains. Before long, antelopes, zebras, and many other herbivores begin to arrive. It is no coincidence that ecologists call African elephants ecosystem engineers. Even the way they protect their young reflects the power of unity. At the first sign of danger, the adults immediately form a tight circle, placing the youngest individuals in the center. Most predators understand that this is not an easy wall to break through. If elephants reshape the grasslands through physical strength, African buffalo survive through the strength of the herd. Hundreds of individuals move across the open plains as one united mass. When a calf is threatened, the herd immediately tightens its formation and turns to face the danger instead of fleeing. This collective defense strategy forces even the most experienced predators to think carefully before launching an attack. Many field studies have shown that encounters with African buffalo always carry enormous risk. In the Serengeti, unity can sometimes become stronger armor than any pair of horns. Yet not every member of the Big Five relies on strength to survive. Hidden beneath the canopies of ancient acacia trees, the leopard blends almost completely into the shifting patterns of light and shadow. Across the grasslands, it does not hunt in groups. Nor does it announce its presence. Patiently waiting before launching a sudden and precise ambush is the strategy that has allowed this big cat to survive for millions of years. Anatomical studies show that the leopard's shoulder and neck muscles are exceptionally powerful, allowing it to drag prey heavier than its own body into the branches of a tree. High above the ground, the meal remains safe from hyenas and lions, an extremely important advantage in the fiercely competitive environment of the Serengeti. Not far away, a black rhinoceros quietly patrols its territory. Although its eyesight is relatively poor, its keen sense of smell and hearing allow it to quickly detect unusual movements in the grass. On its thick back, several oxpeckers diligently search for parasitic ticks. In return, they unintentionally serve as guards, calling out warnings whenever an unfamiliar creature approaches. Its front horn is made entirely of keratin, the same material that forms human hair and fingernails and helps the rhinoceros break through thorny bushes and clear a path through dense vegetation during the dry season. But nature is not the only threat this animal faces. Its horn has made the rhinoceros a target for poachers for decades, despite science repeatedly confirming that it has no medicinal value. In South Africa alone, 352 rhinos were killed over the past year, nearly one every day. In Kruger National Park, more than 60% of the rhino population has disappeared in just a single decade, making the future of this solitary warrior increasingly uncertain. If the rhinoceros represents the strength of a lone warrior, then the lion rules the grasslands through the strength of the pride. Unlike most other big cats, lions evolved to live and hunt in groups. A pride typically consists of more than 10 individuals, with the lionesses carrying out most of the hunting, while the males patrol and defend the territory. As night falls, the lion's deep roar can travel up to 8 kilometers, sending a clear warning to rival prides that this land is already claimed. Ecologists believe that by regulating herbivore populations, lions help maintain the balance of the food web throughout the Serengeti. On rare occasions, all 5 members of the Big Five can be seen gathering around one of the last remaining water holes of the dry season. Without the need for fierce confrontations, the size, behavior, and ecological role of each species naturally establish the order of life across this land. As the sun slowly disappears beyond the horizon, the Serengeti gradually returns to its familiar rhythm. The Big Five have never become symbols of Africa simply because of their strength. What truly sets them apart is their ability to adapt, survive, and help maintain the balance of one of the greatest ecosystems on Earth through millions of years of evolution. Eventually, the rains return to the Serengeti. The first seasonal showers awaken the grasslands after months of drought, covering the plains in the green of new life. From the ground pangolin curled tightly beneath its armor of scales, to the African crested porcupine protected by its wall of sharp quills, to the iconic members of the Big Five, each is the product of millions of years of continuous evolution. Today, however, the greatest threat to the wildlife of the Serengeti no longer comes from nature alone, but from shrinking habitats and illegal poaching. Even so, decades of dedicated conservation efforts are bringing renewed hope. Across the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, the elephant population has made a remarkable recovery, increasing from approximately 2,000 individuals in 1986 to more than 7,500 today, while black rhinos have also been steadily recovering through strict protection programs. To combat poaching, many African nations have strengthened anti-poaching patrols and expanded protected areas. The combined use of drones, GPS tracking collars, and DNA analysis technology is helping conservation teams closely monitor individual animals and dismantle international wildlife trafficking networks. At the same time, the strict enforcement of the CITES Convention continues to strengthen protections for endangered species such as rhinos, elephants, and pangolins. Protecting nature is not simply about saving a single species. It is about preserving the balance of entire ecosystems and safeguarding evolutionary stories that have been written over millions of years. If you enjoy exploring the wonders of the wild, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can join us on more incredible journeys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next adventure.